Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'll be sharing an update and review on my medium black Telfar shopper. It's been 6 months since I've had this last year in November. During that time I've been collecting my thoughts and reflecting on answering that question. Is the Telfar medium shopper worth it? So if you want to know about my thoughts on that, the pros and cons and any regrets, then do keep watching. Just as I'm sharing my thoughts in today's video, tomorrow on the 15th of March also marks the restock of the Black+Black denim shopping bag in all 3 sizes. For those eager to get their hands on this, you'll have a chance to nab one for yourself very soon. And then a quick side note everyone, but did anyone else pick up on the price increase of their shopping bags? I stumbled across this detail in their recent email notification on tomorrow's restock. Seems Telfar have bumped up their prices by 20% or so. I also want to cover this as we go along in the video. Before I dive into the details, let me start off by giving you a little background of how I came across this piece and the Telfar brand. So it was around the end of summer last year, I was thinking about buying a designer tote bag, and I wanted this for everyday use that was going to be durable, carefree and sizable too. Basically a reliable bag that was going to be spacious enough to hold everything effortlessly. I also wanted a tote bag that was going to be distinctive and unique and also different from what you would typically see here in London. For instance, I see a lot of Longchamp La Pliage shoulder bags, Louis Vuitton Neverfull, Marc Jacobs tote bags when I'm out and about. Clearly these are very popular, but I wanted something more low-key and a little more exclusive if you like. This was when I turned to YouTube for ideas and also where I heard of Telfar. In particular, the shopper had been mentioned and it caught my eye. Some of the attractive things I was hearing in reviews were the variety of different colours that the bags come in. Also, the price point was another appealing factor, with some people mentioning the shoppers were an affordable luxury. The limited windows for bag purchases intrigued me as well. Also, I learned about vegan leather, which is what the bag is made out of, and that added another layer of curiosity. A lot of people also recommended following Telfar on Instagram and subscribing to their emails to stay in loop for the drops. At the time, I was undecided about which colour to go for because you really are spoilt for choice, but I thought I'd wait patiently to see over the coming weeks what to expect. Then around early November last year, Telfar announced a restock of the black shopper in all sizes. In that moment I thought, okay, you can't go wrong with that as a colour, and generally speaking it's a safe choice, so I seized the opportunity and quickly ordered the medium size. The delivery took around a week from placing the order online to its arrival at my home address. Despite the $50 shipping cost from the US to the UK, the prompt delivery kinda made up for that expense. I remember the unboxing was an exciting moment for me. The order was well packaged, complete with a dust bag, and the handles of the bag were neatly tied with a Velcro piece. Soon after, I dove into using this bag regularly, especially during Christmas for daytime outings. Post-Christmas, it became my go-to choice for an everyday bag. Let me give you a closer look at the medium shopper and I'll quickly show you what's in my bag. Overall, my shopper is still in good condition. There are no noticeable scratches nor scuff marks. I also like how the vegan leather is somewhat flexible and malleable, but it's prone to creasing as you can see from the folds on the side and bottom from how it was originally folded and presented to you. I also read on the website that creasing is actually part of the design as it's a reference to the everyday shopping bag, so you have a bit of a fun element thrown in there for character. For those who are conscious of the creasing, they can wear the bag more regularly and that will lessen the crease. This is also how much space you can expect the straps will take up if they're tucked inside. Hopefully you can tell from the lighting how spacious the inside compartment is. There's more than enough space for carrying my day-to-day things. And this is the difference in terms of space you have when the straps are taken out. The inside pocket is also pretty sizable and the zip is pretty decent. It's a pretty convenient place to keep all your essentials and small items if you're not using a pouch or a bag organizer. This unassuming Telfar label is actually another pocket, although it's really small. I've not used it for anything, but that's a detail reviewers have picked up on and shared with others. The bag is secured through this magnetic closure, which works fine, no issues there. One thing I'm mindful about is avoiding as much creasing on the outside where the magnetic closure pinches in. That means making sure the straps are bunched or folded up in such a way to help reduce that look. Over time, I think this could be an area where you might start seeing it age more, so I'm keeping an eye on this to maintain as much longevity as possible. So, what's in my bag? With my medium shopper, I like how liberal I can be with my belongings with the open and spacious compartment. Generally keep my essentials in the zip pocket like my card holder, house keys and other day-to-day bits and pieces. Then of course, I'll put my bulkier items in the main compartment. So yeah, this is basically what you're working with when the straps are tucked inside versus when the straps are hanging out. Next, let's dive into the pros and cons. Starting with the pros, I absolutely adore the bag's simple yet sophisticated structure. The handbag adapted well to my outfits, whether I was dressed up or down, and friends have even commented on its smart appearance too. The price point and colour options are fantastic. You can't beat the value there. There are so many good colours you could pick in different sizes, so there's a colour for everyone. At the time of purchase, my medium shopper was $202, which I thought was very affordable for a designer bag. When you consider the price of other vegan leather bags that cost more than $200, it's a no-brainer that the shoppers from Telfar offers more bang for your buck. That's a nice segue then to talk about the vegan leather. I found it's held up well against the UK weather, including light and normal rain. Stains wipe off easily, making it easy to look after and maintain. As for durability, it faced a true test over Christmas, carrying a lot of things like shopping and heavy gifts. For day-to-day use, it handles everything effortlessly. Overall, the bag has shown it can take on a lot of the day-to-day weight and stress of your belongings. So, that covers the pros, and if we address the cons next, I would say the main drawback is the non-adjustable long strap. If you're on the shorter side like me, the crossbody wears just about okay. Crossbody works well for when I'm on the move or need to have my hands free. However, when used as a shoulder bag, I find that it hangs a bit too low for my liking for my 5'2" height. I'm aware from a number of reviews this is a common issue, and one thing I wish Telfar could improve on in the future designs of their handbags. So if you're considering this bag and you're on the shorter side, it's something to keep in mind and make sure you'll be happy with. With that said, I do prefer carrying the bag using the top handle, so I can overlook the issue with the non-adjustable long strap. The other gripe I have with the long strap is that because you can't remove this, you end up tucking the strap inside the main compartment, which does take up a bit of space. If the straps are tucked inside, that can also get in the way of just finding things and taking things out. However, the ways around this is of course using the zipped inside pocket for smaller things and using a pouch to help you with the organisation. Still not a deal breaker for me. The other choice you have is leaving the strap hanging out, which is also fine with me. Just something to consider if you're mindful about space and prefer carrying the bag with the top handle. So, what about the answers to those burning questions then? Do I have any regrets? Is a Telfar shopper medium-sized worth it? If we start on my regrets, my only point is that I wish I had opted for a colourful Telfar bag instead of the black. Although the black is versatile, I think it was a missed opportunity of adding a pop of colour to my handbag collection. Looking back, I would have bought the medium white shopper or in small size the lilac, pool blue or green screen. What I would say is be patient for the bag that you want. During the waiting period, use that time to work out a wish list on what colour and size you want to go for, so you're ready for the next drop. So, is the Telfar medium shopper worth it? Absolutely, especially if you're looking for an everyday piece that's a little more exclusive and distinctive. If you're from Europe or from the UK, it does feel like a standout here as it's still an uncommon handbag that remains under the radar. If you're looking to inject some colour, fun and vibrancy to your handbag collection, then I also think the Telfar shopper is worth it. Highly recommend you going for a shopper in a colour. You have a rainbow of colours to choose from and it's still pretty affordable. But what about the price increase? Is it still worth it? Before the price increase, you could have paid $202 for the medium shopper, and now the new price is $255. I think it's still reasonable even with the increase of an extra $53. It's still pretty hard to find an inexpensive alternative, so the Telfar shopper is still in the affordable bracket. I suspect the price increase follows that trend we're seeing with all luxury and designer handbags, where they're reflecting the increased cost in production, labour, and economic changes that's happened in the past few years. From a consumer perspective, it's easy to say the impact means more money out of us, and it raises the question of whether the overall value is still there. At the same time, it's also worth considering the fact that businesses do need to run and maintain the cost behind their operations, and in turn be able to invest back into their business for bigger and better things. So depending where you sit on that argument, you may see the situation differently. However, if you're looking for a highly accessible designer handbag, I still think the Telfar shopper could be worthwhile. You'd also be supporting an independent and growing designer too. On accessibility, it is easier to get a Telfar shopper these days as the hype seems to have calmed down a lot unless there's an upcoming and really popular collaboration. I know in the past the bag sold out pretty quickly, but I had no problems getting mine. In fact, my bag was still around for a week at the time of purchase. Chances are you'll be able to comfortably purchase a bag if there's a restock. All that to say is if you're thinking of getting a shopper, this is not a bad time to get one. What are my final thoughts then? I would say I'm really happy to have this piece in my handbag collection. It's a bag that still makes me feel good, and the investment towards this as a collectible piece has felt worthwhile. It's a highly versatile and a cool statement piece. There's something very playful and fun about the shopper that I really like, which I find appealing. It doesn't take itself too seriously, it's unpretentious, and above all, it's their message on inclusivity that makes them highly desirable and sought after too. The shape is also as classic as you can get. That itself will never go out of style. For those reasons, I think Telfar have managed to achieve their goal on the handbag line that says, no matter who you are, where you're from, how old or what gender you are, this handbag is going to resonate with everyone's style. On the vegan leather, I do enjoy the material. Yes, it's essentially plastic, but it's well made and produced in such a way that it works as a handbag. So far, I've not encountered any serious issues, but I'll revisit the quality of the vegan leather later in the year and let you know if that's still the case or not. As far as construction and longevity goes, I'm going to need a bit more time to see if my shopper holds up on those areas. So I would like to revisit at a later time to see in the coming years if all of those hallmarks that make a luxury handbag, like materials, craftsmanship, prestige, are there with the shopper in the years to come. With that said, would I consider the quality of the vegan leather, the construction, and exclusivity of the shopper as a luxury handbag? In some ways, yes. For example, I think the quality of the vegan leather is there. The limited restocks and drops do point to the exclusivity of the handbag. I can see why, if you're fashion conscious, you might argue this is a luxury handbag because the offerings behind the shopper are things you've been looking for that are important to you. So I think it also falls down to what your priorities are when it comes to luxury and how you personally define it. Is it a feeling? Is it a status? Quality of materials or craftsmanship? It's debatable and subjective. The question is only something you can answer. As of now, I still prefer my leather handbags, but I am open to other leather options in the market, whether that's vegan leather, a similar design or not. I would be interested to explore alternative leather in the handbag realm. Besides from the shopper, what I also find most interesting about Telfar is the various collaborations they've had in the past and recently. That's exciting to me as it's an opportunity to see what kind of limited edition piece you could potentially get your hands on, but also see how experimental they get. That to me is where the buzz is and why I think Telfar remains trendy and cool. I'd love to continue seeing more collaborations and how they evolve in the near future. I'll definitely be keeping my eye out on them. I do appreciate Telfar's mission to make designer items accessible to the mass and admire the brand for making their mark on fashion democracy. They offer an alternative and affordable designer items that you can consider as luxury, and that's worth applauding. Anyways, what do you think? Is Telfar still trendy? Do you consider it a luxury brand? Do you have a shopper already, and how is it holding up for you? Or are you considering purchasing a Telfar bag soon? I would love to hear from you either way. Please do leave me your comments and thoughts down below. If you're eyeing a purchase, Telfar just announced a restock of their shopper handbag in black and black denim across all 3 sizes from the 15th of March. Be sure to check out their Instagram for more info. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video and found it useful. Thank you so much as always for taking the time out to check out my video. Whatever you get up to today and the rest of the week, I hope it's a good one. I'll be back with another video soon.